So in this video, we're going to be building our first actual website, which is basically just going to be a simple blog. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get started.
Alright guys, so today I'll be showing you the application that we will be building for this section, and the application is called My Blog. So it's just a simple blog that we built with Bootstrap styling. So I'm going to go and create a new post, and I'll title the post example post, and the body I'll just say blah blah blah. Okay, so I'll create the post, and you see now we can share it to Twitter, and I'm not going to share it to Twitter, but we can also do that with Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, and Pinterest. Another thing that we can do is we can add comments with Google+, or Facebook. I just chose Google+ for this example. So I can do blah blah blah. I'm not actually going to do it, but you get it. So I can also edit a post, and I'll just add an extra blah in there, update post. Sweet, and now I'll just delete the post. Now, something that you might be wondering is, why can I create a new post? I must have to be logged in or something if I'm the admin. So if I open up an incognito tab and go to my blog, we'll wait for that to load. You can see that now I can't edit or delete a post, but right where it said new post, there is a thing that says admin login. So I click on that. I'll put in my email and my password. Alright, login. And now when I go to example post, you see I can now edit and destroy the post now. And I can also create a new post. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope in the next video. Thanks. Alright, so now we are going to start coding our blog, and first we have to create our blog project in Rails. So in order to do that, we have to cd into our programs directory and type in Rails new, and I'll call our application blog. So we'll wait for that to run. Now it's running bundle install. And actually, why don't I just pause the recording? And now we're done. So I'll cd into blog, our app. And the first thing, we want to do git tracking so that we can track everything and upload to Heroku. So I'll do git init, and we've initialized our git repository. And I'll do git add dot, then git commit -m, and we'll say added, no, we'll just say initial commit. Great. So now we are going to start working with the scaffolds. So we'll do Rails G scaffold, and we'll call it post, and then title will be a string, and body will be text. Alright, so this should set up everything that we're going to need pretty much for app. We don't have to work with controllers or anything like that. Great. So now we'll DB migrate our database. Okay, so we've created posts. And now git add dot and git commit -m, and we'll say added scaffold. Great. And then Rails S to start the server. And I'm going to open up, so here we are at localhost port 3000/posts, and it says listing post. I'll create a new post, title it test. The body will be testing 1 2 3. We can create the post. There we go. We can edit it, so I'll say 1 2 3 4. Go back. We have all of our posts, and then we can delete the post. So pretty basic, but we did that pretty quickly. Alright, so right now there's a big problem with our application, and that is that anyone can create a post, they can edit a post, and then they can go back and delete that post. So if you want to be the only one writing your blog, writing your own content, that's going to be a huge problem for you, because anyone could just come in and say, oh, I want to delete this post. So what we use is we use Devise. And Devise is a way to set up user authentication. So that's like user signups, sign-ins, sign-outs, all that stuff that pretty much every good website has. And Devise makes it really easy to add it in Ruby. But the first thing they have to do is you have to go into your text editor, then go into the gem file, and I'll just delete these comments right here. And you got to do gem devise. And so now that that's saved, we're going to open up our terminal, and I'll do bundle install to install Devise on our system. Alright, so now that that's done, we need to actually work on installing Devise. So we do Rails, hold on. We'll do Rails G Devise install. So now this will set up Devise across our application. And then after we're done with that, what we're going to need to do is we'll set up a user model so that we can sign in and sign out as a user, which will help us with controlling everything. So we'll do Rails G Devise user. Alright, we'll wait for that to run. Okay, now the last thing is we need to generate the views so we can actually see Devise. So Rails G Devise views. Alright, and now we'll enter that. And there we go. So we have, you see all these ERB files generated, and we'll rake db migrate our database. And after that, we should be done. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about working with Devise and also how to actually get the authentication in there, so that we'll delete like the show and edit pages and the delete pages and all that stuff. But as for now, I will see you next time. Thanks. Alright guys, so right now there is a big problem with our application, and that is we've installed Devise, we've done all that stuff, however that has nothing to do with the posts. It doesn't matter if you're signed in or sign out with the post controller and all that stuff, you can still edit, delete, all that stuff. So it's still a chaotic mess of an application. So in order to fix that, we're going to go into App, Controllers, and we'll go to the post controller. And what we're going to do is we're going to set a before filter. And what the before filter is going to do is it's going to make sure that only users that are authenticated can do certain things. So before filter, we'll do authenticate underscore user and then exclamation point, comma, except if they are doing the show or the index action. So basically, you're going to have to be signed in unless you are on the show page or on the index page of our application. Okay? So that was really quick, really simple. But now we need to go into our application controller, and you see this little protect from forgery with exception. Now this is going to block our application with Devise. So a little thing that we have to do, and I'm just going to copy and paste this in, is a before action to make sure that we can still sign in and sign up. So before action, configure permitted parameters if Devise controller and the configure permitted parameters is protected in a function. And if you're not familiar, a protected function is kind of just like a secret function. It's really cool. And then we have def configure permitted parameters, Devise parameters sanitize.permit, the sign up with the keys username. Alright, so that looks pretty good. You don't really have to understand this code, you just need to know that you need it. And we'll close out of this. We'll open up our terminal, and I'll do git add dot, then git commit dash M, and we'll say added validation to posts and application controllers. Alright, so we committed our stuff. We'll close out of the terminal, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Alright, so right now I have localhost 3000/posts, and we have everything running, so I'm currently signed in, so I can edit posts and do all that good stuff. But there is one problem, and that is, what if someone isn't signed in? So I'm going to an incognito tab /posts, and you see if I try to edit, it's just going to ask me to log in. And that can be annoying because we don't want the user thinking that they can edit or destroy something and then having to log in. That's just unnecessary, and that's not good. So we're just going to delete all that stuff unless the user is currently signed in. And in order to do that, we're going to go to views, posts, and index.html.erb. And in there, I'm just going to delete the edit and the destroy links because I don't think we need those in the final application. And then what I'm going to do is, above the link to new post, I'm going to start a if user signed in with a question mark. And then I will have it run the link to new post, and we'll have an end at the end, just like in Ruby. So we'll save that, and then we'll go to show.html.erb and do the same thing. So if user is signed in, it will show the edit tag, and if they're not, it will just show the back tag. So we'll save that, and we'll open up our incognito tab, which we're not signed in on, refresh the page, and you see it's just the show page, and we don't have the edit page there. Alright, so pretty nifty. We're going to have to add a few minor details before we start getting on the styling, and our application will be done. Sweet, so I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Alright, so our application does not look well right now. We have a lot of ugly, unnecessary stuff there. So we're just going to strip it down to the bare bones before we actually start styling. So first, I'm going to go to posts index.html.erb. And I'm just going to get rid of this listing posts h1 tag. Alright, good. And I'll also get rid of the entire t-head statement. Actually, I'll get rid of the entire table. So let's get rid of the table there. And there we have it. So I'll indent this properly. And then, let's see. So I'll delete the body so that you'll only see the title of the post. Delete the table row and the table data tags, the TD tags. We'll get that as well. And then instead of having a link to a separate show page, let's just link to the post title, and then you'll click on it and it'll take you to the post. So let's get rid of that show. Alright, so now that that's good, we'll reload the page, and you see it just has the title. You click on it and then it shows you the show page. Now let's put this in h1 tags to make it bigger. Okay, and then if user is signed in, then we have a link to new post. But if they're not, we want a way to be able to log in, if the user wants to create a post but isn't signed in. So we'll have an else statement right here. And in the else statement, we'll have, let's see, link to _2. And we'll say we'll link to admin login, and then comma, and new user session path. The path is important. Okay, we'll close that out, and you see we'll reload, go back to the home page, and we have an admin login, which takes us to our login page. Great. So now, let's see. We're also going to edit the show page. And in there, let's see, let's just get rid of the strong title thing and change the paragraph to H1, heading 1, and then slash heading 1. And let's do the same thing, but we'll use heading 3 for the body, and heading 3, delete the strong tag. Okay, now I'll reload it, and you see we have the title and then the body. Alright, great. So another thing is, let's delete in our style sheets / assets. We'll delete the scaffold.css, and so you see if we reload that, then it goes back to bare HTML, which is what we're going to need if we want to implement Bootstrap. Alright, so that should just wrap it up. I think we're ready to start implementing Bootstrap. Sweet! Alright, so currently there's a big problem with our application, and that is if we go to localhost port 3000, we still have welcome aboard, you're writing Ruby on Rails. However, if we go to localhost port 3000 / posts, you see now we have our post index action going on in there, and then we go back and it's welcome aboard, and we don't want that. So what we need is we need to change our routes, and our routes basically tell Rails where everything is going to be located. So for instance, posts / new will render us a new post, will render us sign in because we're not signed in, but you get the point. So let's go to our editor, and we'll go to config routes.rb, and this is where all of our routes are. So we have device for users and resources for posts, and that's basically what is controlling everything. So we're going to uncomment this line, and it's root welcome index. Now we don't have a welcome action, so we'll do posts index. And what that's going to do is that's going to render views, posts, and then index.html.erb in the default URL. So we reload the page, and we have index.html.erb. Alright, so today we will be looking at implementing Bootstrap into our application. And basically what Bootstrap is it is an easy way for us to make our applications look very nice and very styled. The problem with Bootstrap is that it's the same, and every website that looks Bootstrap pretty much looks the same. And that's where bootswatch.com comes in. They have free themes for Bootstrap. So basically they take the Bootstrap code and they give it a little bit flavor. So if we scroll down, we have all of these different Bootstrap themes that are free for you to use. So just scroll down, pick whatever you like, it doesn't matter, just whatever looks nice to you. But for this tutorial, we'll be using Simplex. So on the caret, I'll click on that and do bootstrap min.css, then I'll click on it and do Control A to select all, then copy it, and I'll open up our editor. We'll go into application.css in our style sheets, and at the bottom, paste it in, then we'll press enter, save it, and there we have it. So now let's go and run the server, and I'll go to Google Chrome, and we'll see how our application already looks different. So we go to localhost 3000, and you see already it has that nice orange theme, and yeah, so it's already looking pretty nice, not perfect, but we'll get it there when we go into the next videos. Thanks. Alright guys, so today we are finally working on our Nav Bar, and what a Nav Bar is it's basically a way for users to navigate through our site, and pretty much every website that you can think of has a Nav Bar, you know, a way of getting from page to page. So to start off with our Nav Bar, we're going to go into App, Views, Layouts, and Application.html. If you don't know what this file does, this file is the base of our application. The code that is on here will be on every single other page that we have in our application. So, for instance, the new.html.erb, that has all this code on it too. And that's why we have the same CSS for all of our applications. So to start off, I'm going to create the nav bar by doing nav, and we'll give nav a class of, we'll set that equal to navbar inverse, and then inside of our navbar we'll do a link, so link to, and we'll set link to my blog or just the name of your blog. And let's say we'll have route path, so that when they click on my blog, then it will take them home, and we'll set the class equal to navbar link. No, navbar brand, since it's our brand. Then after that, we should do a div, and we'll give it a class of, let's see, we'll give it a class of container. And then after we give div a class of container, we'll have a paragraph, and we'll give paragraph a class of, let's see, nav bar text, and we'll set it to the right of our nav bar with nav bar right. Alright, good. And then inside of here, we are going to go into index.html.erb, and this bottom part, we're going to cut it, save that, and then we are going to put that inside of our paragraph. So that way if the user signed in, then he can create a post, but if they're not, it'll ask the admin to log in. Sweet. And then in between this yield function, which is yielding what is on the page depending on the page, we are going to put div, and we'll give it a class of call medium 10 and call medium offset 1. And I'm not going to explain this to you, but if you want to learn more about it, I'll make sure to have a link in the description of this video. So inside this column, we will have the yield function in the middle right there. And now let's just open up our terminal, do git add dot, then git commit -m, and we'll say that we created nav bar. Alright, we should be good to go. Sweet. Alright guys, so now that we've done the coding for the nav bar, we are going to finish up some styling for the nav bar, and then we are going to style our index page. So without further ado, let's go into layouts, then application.html.erb, and go down to the link to new post where it says new post path, and I'll do a comma, and I'll say class, just like we do with the navbar brand, except for we'll say navbar link instead. And we'll do the same thing with the admin login, so class navbar link. Great, so we'll save that page, and I'll close out of this, and then we can start working on the posts. So I'll go to posts, index.html.erb, and right where it has the posts loop, where it's showing all the posts, right under the H1, I'll say p align right, posted time ago, in words, post.created at ago. So what this is going to do is it's a handy Rails function that's just going to say take the post when it was created, and then do that in words. So don't just give me a date or a time, do that in words, which is really useful. So it'll say like posted 5 minutes ago. And then we'll top it off with HR, which stands for horizontal line, which basically is just going to separate the post with a thin, like 1 pixel line between each post. So it's going to look pretty good, I think, but let's test it out. So I will save it, and then go into Chrome, reload the page, and I was right. It looks really good. So we have the admin login right there, all nice and styled. We have test, then posted 2 days ago, and a thin line that you might not be able to see depending on your resolution. Now in the next video we are going to work on styling this show page because it looks pretty terrible. And without further ado, I will see you in the next video. Sweet! Okay guys, so we're doing something a little bit different today, and that is, I know that I said that we would code the show page together and style it, but this time I think if you really want to learn Ruby on Rails, you should do it yourself. So here is our current show page. Very sad. I am just going to select all this, then paste in some more code, and just let you sort of look at that, get some ideas, and then actually go to the Bootstrap docs and look for it yourself. So I have a div class page header, and h1, which is aligned to the center, which has our post.title. I have a panel heading, and I put that as the post body. And then if the user is signed in, I have a button group that's pulled to the right that has edit and destroy links that I styled and also just copied and pasted from when we originally had all those links on our index page. So I'm going to open up Chrome, show you what our app looks like with the show page, and hopefully I can see your creative styles on my code, or you can create your own and it will look really great. So I'll wait for that to load. We'll go to test, and you see we have the title in the middle with a little HR and then a panel that has that. So I will log in, and you'll see if I log in that now when I go to test, I also have edit and destroy links there, and that's what those look like. So hopefully you guys are up for the challenge, and I will see you in the next video. Alright guys, so today we will be adding social buttons to our website so that you can click on it, share it to Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and we'll be using the social share button gem, which works with all of these wonderful websites right here. And you see the screenshot is what it actually looks like. And don't worry, I'll make sure to put a link in the resources of this video. So in your gem file, we're just going to copy and paste this gem. So we'll go to gem file, and then we will paste this in here. Alright, we'll save that. Then we need to bundle install. So we'll open up our terminal and do bundle install, just to make sure social share is really installed. And then once bundle install is done running, we will Rails generate the social share button to install. So copy that right there, paste that in there, and it looks like I forgot the R in Rails, so I'll just fix that. Okay, and now it's saying that we need to go to config/initializers/socialsharebutton.rb, where we can configure the allowed sites that are going to show up in our button path. So we have all that generated, and let's go there. So we have config, initializers, and then socialsharebutton.rb. And right here we see we have Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Weibo, Douban, Renren, all this stuff that we don't really need. I'll delete that. And then I'll delete Google Bookmark. So all we have is Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, Plurk, and Pinterest. Great, so next we need to import the JavaScript by going to javascript's application.js. And then in there, we'll just say require social share button. Good, now we'll save that. And we'll do the same thing for the style sheets application.css. And right where you see require tree dot and require self, we're going to do the same thing, require social share button. Okay, so now that that's saved, we are going to add this to our actual post. So we'll copy this code right here, and I'll go into posts. Well, first I'll close everything out, and I'll go into posts, show.html.erb, and at the bottom, I'm just going to paste this code, and basically what it's saying is get the social share button tag and share the post.title. So we'll run our server, and then go to it with localhost 3000. We'll wait for that to load, and then we'll click on a post, and you see we have these little wonderful buttons right here. Now I'll click on the Twitter one, and it says share a link. So we have test, and then, which is the name of the post, and then we have the localhost, the URL for where this post is located, which obviously isn't going to work because it's only running on our system. Alright, so now we have social share buttons implemented on our site. Sweet, I will see you in the next video. Alright guys, so today we will be adding Facebook comments to our application, and in order to do that, we have this Stack Overflow question, which I will post a link in the resources of this lecture to. And what it basically says to do is to copy and paste this JavaScript and do the same with the HTML below. So in our show page, I'll copy and paste the JavaScript and then copy and paste the HTML. So I have that in there. And then instead of example.com, what we are going to have is we are going to have a Rails tag. And then inside of our Rails tag, we'll do request.url, so that Facebook will assign our current URL to the amount of comments that will be on there. And then data number of posts, let's give it 3 posts that you can view. So we'll save that, then open up our application, go to the test post, and once you see it loads, you will see that we have comments. Now one thing that you may be wondering is, wait, why are there a bunch of random comments? And this is because Rails assigns the URL and Facebook assigns that URL to the comments. So once we have our own URL on Heroku, that will not be a problem anymore. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Alright, so if Facebook comments aren't your thing, we're going to learn how to add Google Plus comments to any website. And luckily, some lovely person has already done all the coding for us. So all we have to do is copy and paste this code right here, and then put it into our show page. So at the bottom, behind the social share links, I'll just do that. We'll save that. And now I'm running the server, so I'll open up Chrome. I'll go to our website. And then once that loads, you will see we'll go on text post, and I'll reload the page. And you see now we can add Google Plus comments very, very easily. Alright, sweet. So our application is done. I will see you in the next video. Alright, so currently there is one problem with our application, and we can fix that very easily. And that is if we go to admin login, you see it asks us to log in, but there's also a sign up link right here. So a user could just sign up and then instantly have control to our blog. And that's not what we want. We want to be the one and only user on this blog. So in order to fix that, the first thing that I'm going to do is open up our text editor, and I'll close out of the server here. And first we're going to go into app, views, and devise, and we're going to go into the registrations folder of the devise views and click on new, and then just delete the new.html.erb. Afterwards, we're going to go into sessions, new sessions, and this is the file that you see when we load up the page when we click on admin login. This has everything that we need, and you may notice there is no sign up button here. There is no, link to sign up or whatever, and that's because it's on line 26 with the render devise shared links. So if we delete that, then that will get rid of that for us. So I'll restart the server, and now that that's running, we'll reload the page again, and you see the sign up and the forgot password button are gone. Sweet. So I will see you in the next video.